Thanks for picking up Eric last night.
Mm-hmm. It was fun. Cop was actually cool that was inside the jail there, behind the glass.
Deputy?
Yeah, one of the deputies. He was the one that helped me set up the account so that I could visit him. And
was that Nguyen or was it Herrera? Herrera helped me Friday.
I don't remember what his name was. He was the Asian one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nguyen.
Yeah, he's actually pretty
His
cool.
hair kind of spiked up.
Yeah. Oh. So I'm sitting there waiting. He's pounding on the glass and pointing to the door when Eric's coming out, or when he's about to come out, to tell me that Eric's coming out now.
Awesome.
I was like, cool. Alright, we're coming down here where Eric is yelling at the police.
As the prophet Isaiah declared that I do. Shut the fuck up.
He's in a public place, he can do whatever you want.
He's a stupid asshole, dude.
Yeah. Just walk away if you don't like it, you know?
I'm the best guitar player you've ever seen on the mall, that's for sure. You've seen me, I have a bright pink guitar, I'm a badass, dude. And this guy sucks.
So somebody told you you couldn't play your guitar anymore, then what?
I wouldn't. He did yesterday and I played it. Get that camera off me, dude. I'll kick you in your fucking skull.
What will you do on the day of reckoning
Fucking
when
loser.
disaster comes? To whom will you run?
Hey Eric, this man wants to threaten to kick me in the nuts.
So you
Dude, you
are
can film
for?
all you want. I'm
What?
the best musician you'll ever meet,
So
dude.
you,
Yeah?
so you support
That's
your
great.
I'll
Point at me.
point at you all I want. I will point at you all that I want.
Touch me.
I doubt that if you touch me, I'll drop
I'm
you.
armed.
I don't give a fuck.
Legally armed.
Oh, great. You gotta touch me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch you. You're a fag. You're a Christian.
Oh, so you hate?
You ain't a Christian.
Oh, so you just called me a fag?
Yeah, you're homosexual.
Oh, so you hate homosexuals? Is that what it is?
Don't follow me.
You hate all
Follow
people?
me. I'm the best guitar player
You're
you've
a
ever
fucking
talked to.
punk bitch, is what you
God, your
are.
breath smells nasty.
Yeah, it smells
Brush
like your
teeth.
mother's fucking asshole.
teeth,
That's
fag.
what it smells like, right?
Fucking
Fag.
fag.
You wish I was a fag, because you
You
were
are
a
a fag.
And so what? And still you run away, even from fags, you punk. You little ball.
Well, for being the best guitar player, he's going to ruin his own career just from his attitude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you hungry, man? We got hot food right over
Letting
here.
everybody know about the
Good morning. You guys hungry? We got hot food right down there.
What the
Well,
hell? Yeah, he ran. Alright. Go back to the police.
Support the Denver police and you support District 6, then you might as well kick homeless children in the teeth, because they take away the warmth and the shelter of those who need it most in times of survival. And then they gather together and they laugh about it and they enjoy their misdeeds. They enjoy their sin.
Woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people. Isaiah 10.
Chronicles 7:14. That's my people. With
Hey, look,
They have electric scooters on
electric
malls.
scooters.
and repent of their sin. I will die to them, and I will heal their land.
They won't let you ride yours down here.
No.
They ain't saying nothing to them.
No.
Shame on you, District 6. You're a scumbag for making up fucking salt
said no freedom of speech. And he knew it. And he did it anyway.
And he did it anyway.
That's right.
And he was facing death everywhere he went to say what he had to say. And he didn't care because he had a mission, and he had to say what he had to say, and he was getting it out, and the mission wasn't going to be over until he said it was over.
So the question today is, will the money changers overturn our tables?
That's right.
Lord, you have been a refuge for the poor, a refuge for the needy in their distress, a shelter from the storm, and a shade from the heat. Isaiah 25, verse 4. And yet, Denver, you criminalize shelter from the storm. You criminalize shade from the heat. Shame, Denver, shame!
Shame on you for criminalizing poverty. Shame on you for making widows criminals. Shame on you for making families criminals. Shame on you for making single mothers criminals.
Oh, the question to the trike is that if I don't get a proper response by tomorrow, then I'll be asking you guys to help me
Shame
out
on
with
you
that.
for making survival a criminal act. Think about all of you when you go home to your warm, comfortable houses and your air conditioning and your comfortable beds. It's a shame that people laugh and smile and find it funny that the pain and the suffering of others, okay, doesn't affect you. May it affect your family so you know what it's like, and then you'll be able to turn to God and cry out that He forgive you. For laughing at the oppressed, and for laughing at those who stand for the oppressed. Shame on you, you less than man.
Do not exploit the poor because they are poor, and do not crush the needy in court. For the Lord will take up their case, and will exact life for life. Must we wait for the Lord, or can we stop crushing the poor today? Thank you, sir. That's right.
That's right, because when they can't affect the man, they go to the most defenseless, the most weak, right? The elders.
Well, we got 14 people here this morning. Hello, everybody. Yep, that's right. They won't take a statement. The one, he was willing to take the report, and he was overruled by the sergeants and above. They would not allow him to take a report.
Thanks to the Downtown Partnership and Michael Hancock's urban camping ban, the number of people dying in Denver streets every year has doubled. While Denver criminalizes homelessness, boycott the merchants on 16th Street.
How are you this morning? Good morning from off. Then Jesus said to his folks, when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, and the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid. Luke 14:14.
Oh, my screen froze. Hang on. Can you guys see? Can you guys see? Okay. It froze on me for a moment. I think I need to update the app yet. Yeah, you too. Enjoy the weather.
You're dressed too sharply.
Okay.
I read you're a journalist. I don't believe I've ever read articles more completely as yours. I don't know how much time you invested in your work, but it's clearly wrong. Hey, what's your back? Got tired of whacking people in the head. So thenationreport.org is your source, right? You did a lot of work with HDNU for the
We got Pikes over there hiding out. Hiding on the sideline. Next he'll be crawling in the dumpster to hide in there, I guess.
Oh, good. I was worried that was about to get off. Oh, yeah. So can I like that? That we got from the commander.
That's his.
Yeah, I thought that was not.
Are you ready?
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I'm just fantastic.
So this letter was to Mariana. She's That's Mariana right there. Mariana, say hi. No, I'm here. So this is what the commander wrote to Mariana. Lighting? Hello, Mariana. I believe we've met on the mall a couple weeks ago. I'm aware of the contact on Sunday, but not of any violations to you by our officers. Can you please be specific as to which issues of your constitutional rights were violated, and what were the specific issues? Please be mindful that you are and have been operating without a permit on the mall. The initial contact was intended to advise you of this and ask that you pack up and obtain a permit prior to your next event. My understanding is that Brian was not out there and the contact was professional. I don't They always think their contact is professional, and they always think that an order from an officer is lawful.
The hell?
The initial contact was intended to advise you of this. Oh yeah, I read that.
It's not true.
They
They had somebody.
going to go to jail that day, and they were standing their ground, and they knew it.
They had somebody that was willing to provide identification.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, his name is Shane. He's right over there.
That's right.
It's his first time down here, and he was just appalled by this behavior.
Where is he?
And he stepped immediately and said, "There's a right table for right."
There he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Shane, we're talking about you, Shane. And let's see.
So they only gave them a warning.
Yeah. Let's see here. Again, the contact was intended to advise you of the furniture and permit ordinances, and was also captured on our body-worn cameras. Good, so we're subpoenaing that. We're FOIA requesting that. In Colorado, it's called a criminal justice records request. Our intent was not to put people in jail. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah. You know
And
they
by
wanted to.
Yeah,
they,
you know they
were
wanted
biting
to,
at
right?
the
Well, he
chomp
says
too.
so right in the next sentence.
Yeah.
By refusing to provide identification may have caused further crimes to be committed, interference, causing a possibility of somebody going to jail. So what they're talking about here, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you are, because you were sitting there with us when we were reviewing. These are civil engineering statutes.
Yes.
Right? They're not criminal codes.
Yes.
And they're very clear that they require the director of public works to make the decision, not the police. So
Right.
no, not a crime. It would have been they who committed the crime if they effected those arrests. We went through this in 2015.
Right.
Remember, we know more than they do. Their ignorance is certainly not our fault, but it has become our problem.
Too much
And
too
we
much
like to solve
time at the
problems.
gun range.
Too much time at the gun range, right.
That's right.
Humanity over profit. I love your sign, sir. We chose not to take a chance. What does that mean? We chose not to take a chance.
They didn't want a
not to take a
lawsuit?
chance on a 1983 lawsuit.
Yeah, they didn't want a
And
lawsuit.
as we did not want to jail anybody, nobody did receive a ticket, and I believe Shane did ask to take the ticket. He certainly did, but he didn't set up the furniture, so he wasn't cited.
How could they know who set it up?
Oh, if they watch us on the Halo cams, this Halo cams that they say they don't have for the day in question of my arrest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the most epic incident on 16th Street Mall, and they don't have it, right?
Right.
But yeah, Shane said they're my tables. I ordered them to be set up, but they still wouldn't ticket him. They tried to. And watching them on the phones, you could just see the gears turning at like half speed. Click, 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 click. I don't know what to do here. They didn't obey me. I don't know what to do here. I can't arrest these old ladies. They're feeding the homeless. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Yep.
You do nothing. That's what you do. You do exactly what you did. You do nothing.
That's right.
I would encourage you to seek a permit for future events. Our intent is not to negatively impact your freedoms of speech and to assemble, and religion, right? And religion,
Oh yeah.
but only to make sure you are permitted in following all the ordinances and laws. Commander, District 6, there's his phone number. Let me zoom in on that. That's 720-913-2900. And his email address is aaron.sanchez@denvergov.org. OKC Vet says he wants to come visit you. Please do come visit me. I would love that. I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you the other day when we were down there in Oklahoma. And do me a favor, bring Not Now Maybe Later with you, please. So we've got some movement of the...
Not later, now.
Here she is. Right here. They're doing it here. From
like One Nation or something.
I went up and said,
Down to one tent at the corner bakery and no band out front. So they're nice and quiet today.
Thank you. It's so big, and I try to get the height.
I've got multiple citations. Been incarcerated, 3 dogs, been sleeping outside. This is too hot. One day, I was sleeping down at this one park right over here. No, it was, well, I had to wear my shorts and my shirt. I couldn't put anything on. It was so hot in the middle of the night. I was it couldn't get worse, but it couldn't get better because I was eating. I also thought that if you can't get food in Denver, you either have you have an issue or you have a dope addiction. Injuries, you're handicapped, you can't get down to the damn shelter.
There's mental health and, physical problems.
Physical and mental disability. Debilitation.
Same thing, yeah.
I thought it was funny though.
Addiction, same
It's
shit.
mostly addiction. It's that over there. It's that medical marijuana stuff.
Oh, that's terrible for
That
you.
leads to just all that crack.
Yeah, weed's terrible for you.
And that crap is, the dope is bad. I mean, that's just bad. Marijuana is obviously, bitch.
Oh, down he goes.
And then also thought that, it's a bunch of people pouring for goddamn free stuff. But I'll tell you about taxpayers' money. My mom told me taxpayers' money goes to, well, one of the forms I signed, it only took a year and a half for me to get my free housing.
What?
A year and a half. They put me on the list. They come up to me knowing who I am.
Yeah.
We have good news for you, Danny.
Holy
You're
shit.
getting housing now.
What the fuck?
Like
That's
I won
awesome,
a lottery
man.
or something.
Congratulations,
So
dude. That's
I-
great.
I- I denied 3 apartments, didn't even look at them until they got me one by the Inglewood Light Rail Station. It was beautiful. I was like, hell yeah, they're gonna get me all 3 furnishings. They said $2 billion approximate. Well, they didn't really tell me, but I was like, I asked them 3 times. Well, in an innocent and nonchalant way about where the money came. Well, why is my friend is a senior citizen and a veteran and he's disabled and either choosing to stay in a shelter or just having to go to the shelter? Why doesn't he get? Well, that's what basically what I asked them, and they wouldn't tell me. Multiple trips to detox, multiple trips to jail. This is just fine here. I was like, okay, 15 pieces
They have plenty of
paper I
coffee
have to
over there.
I signed 4 pieces of paper for the lease for that apartment they got me in Colorado. Taxpayers' money. That's a lot of money. And they won't house those people. That's weird, man. That's weird. I'm only 40 years old. See what I went through. I just don't even think I'm begin to tell you.
I'm 40 years old.
Yeah, I'm a 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah. Touch for very Does he want to have a lighter? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one.
Thank
But the thing is
you. Mind if I smoke it?
is that if those people don't get it and I get it for that, I'm not even handicapped, man.
Thank
They
you, sir.
prove. Sorry,
No,
spit
thank
some
you.
macaroni and cheese on you.
That's all right.
But
Thank you for the light.
if they don't get that and I do, that's weird. It makes you wonder. They told me certain things, but I'm never gonna care. It's like there's nothing wrong with me. I just have to drink so I can sleep.
That's what I do.
So that's why I'm in detox. That's why I have an FTA on urinating in public. This is why I have 2 fair bike days and citations. I got to go to homeless people's court. My new social worker's going to take me down there. They're going to get me all new furnishings and some used new furnishings or what have you.
Yeah.
And it's just like money. Well, I could tell you one more thing before I shut up. But I'll tell you. When you go down that light rail into Inglewood, how many times a day do they have a mile? Well, this is just a clue to the scene of the crime about what's about to happen. There's a mile-long train cars filled over the brim with coal. It's like, some more coal, please. It's like, what? Every day, 3 times a day. These train cars of coal. You're just fucking yourself. And that one, I was lucky to get what I got the way I see it. I keep a keen mindset. That way I have a good attitude in case something doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because beggars can't be choosers under such circumstances. But I'll tell you, these things happen. You know, if you can't take care of yourself, that's an issue, a disability. Those are problems. Those things you can't take care of. Somebody has to take care of for you. But if you can, you can. I mean, it's kind of like a Republican, but the thing about it is, I think that you should cut out medical marijuana and all that dope, get that bad, and go back to that weed. That weed was way better. I'll trip acid, LSD, and I will not trip harder than I take 3 hits of that marijuana. I hallucinate worse on marijuana anymore. I used to smoke a lot. I'd suggest cutting out weed, that medical, recreational shit off, man. I can't handle any of that. I tried it twice. I'm free. That's free. But LSD I can take 5 weeks. Like a 10 strip of that. And I'm just fucking cool. So there's your problems with homelessness in Denver. That's your problem. Because I'm going to tell you one more thing before I shut up now. 15 years ago, I was still homeless. I'm 40 years old. Don't get me wrong. I was homeless. There are literally 5 times more homeless people in this city sense.
Hey!
Hey! Oh, that's disgusting. That's not even worth anything anymore.
Justice always.
Yes, everything. You're doing great. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to get out of here. Always. I said always.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
This crazy guy with me, so.
We good?
Oh, our screen froze again. Hang on a second. Sorry about the screen freezing, people.
Yeah, Pike said a couple pigs went into Earl's before we set up.
They know Earl's was closed. They were locked when they came by. I was here
So they did
when that
not go
happened.
in.
They came from the corner bakery and they went over to Earl's, straight over to Earl's, and Earl's was still locked up, so they couldn't go in. And I think that was Kitchens.
Yeah, they're all sharing, with the police. So
Yeah.
DPD.
By the way, I don't know who the guy was that I was filming, but he was talkative, so he had a story to tell, so I filmed it. So he told it.
Don't let that motherfucker go free. That judge is going to try to let him go free. That other guy.
See, we have street furniture out here. Sorry. So yeah, so let him talk.
Coffee shop up on Cobra.
What's up, Jeff?
I'm gonna go down here and see what Liberty Freak's up to. Oh, Eric's going down there too. I'm gonna go back them up. Can't see the screen real well. The sun's. Yeah, I'm gonna back them up. I can't see the screen real well because the sun's bright and it glares on the screen, so I can't read it that well.
I really love that one. It says do not cross the board. So, it's the reason why we can't wait 30 days for Earl's Kitchen to make their decision is because the ballot is coming up in May. All right, 30 days puts us in the middle of April, which gives only 2 weeks left to pressure other businesses.
Yeah, when I get more subs, it'll be easier to find me. So maybe I'll change it a little bit, change it up a little bit.
Bans the ban. It's essentially what could be legislatively construed as a constitutional amendment to the city council standard. It modifies the city charter. And then that's the way
Okay, Gimpy, you're moving slow. Let's see here.
Sir, you look like you have something you need to say.
I do. And that will be that I know that the Lord secures justice for the poor and upholds the cause of the needy. You can read it. It's in the book of Psalms. It might instill a little bit of a soul in you, right? A conscience. A sense of wanting to do correct and right by human standards, not by your master's standards.
Even if it were by the master standard of God.
And this officer's gonna sit there and ignore it all.
That's what I love.
It kind of looks like he's
while you're traveling.
kind of looks like he's stoned in there, you know. Just sitting there.
He spoke. So I sent a response to Commander Sanchez, a video response, and so did Brian Loma, and then he responded by saying that we absolutely had a constitutional right to feed the homeless, and it was our freedom of speech, our freedom of association, and our freedom of religion. Even notwithstanding the humanity of the question.
Hello, Jane.
Janet,
Yeah, I did get quite a few new subs, especially from picking up Eric yesterday.
So, despite my upset for arresting me, I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, my friend was very glad to get out of there. They were really messing him up by not letting him take care of any business, especially with his driver's license. And he has an interlock device on his vehicle, and it had to be calibrated. And if it wasn't calibrated, they were going to take away his license for 5 years. And of course, he couldn't do it when he was in the hospital.
Isn't that the same guy that
So on the last possible day, I was on the phone with him, and he asked, "Hey, can you go down there and get my gear? I'll see if I can get that done." So
Lord,
that he
you have
wouldn't
been a refuge
lose
for the poor, a
his
refuge
license.
for the needy in their distress, a shelter from the storm, and a shade from the heat. And we're going to give that shelter, and we're going to give that shade back.
So I went over there to where his Jeep was and got the keys and tried to use the interlock device, and it was already locked. So I couldn't start the vehicle. So I called up Gary again and got the interlock number to call them on his behalf.
I will bombard them right as the door's opening.
So I called them and asked for the person they needed to speak to, and they put me on hold, and then they just disconnected me. So I called right back, and then it went straight to the login where they want your social security number and interlock account number. So I couldn't, of course, get past that at that point. So they blocked my number for putting that in there. So I was unable to get his Jeep down there to get it calibrated. But the good news is, when he got out the next day, that they unlocked it for him so he could take it directly down there and get it calibrated. So he did not lose his license.
Campaign. And the first one in 2016 is what criminalizing homelessness costs Colorado. Very intriguing report.
I guess they realize when a person's in a mental hospital that they can't really do much, you know, held against their will.
Also,
so I guess it's kind of like being in jail too.
We are including
Except
for them
it's worse
this letter,
being in the mental
which was
hospital
sent
because
to
it's
us
a big
immediately
black
by the
hole.
Hard Rock Cafe. They sent this within.
When you can't get police records, you can't get court records,
So we're not.
and we're investigating that still. We're gonna still get the records, so we're gonna go down and I'm gonna take Gary down there, and we're gonna request the records. Gary's going to request it directly because they won't give them to us. We still haven't heard. Hello. We haven't heard why they won't give us the records yet for the police record. But with Gary there, they have to give it to us.
Yeah.
So I'll get
Talking
with
about
him.
Gary Vaughn, you guys. Gary Vaughn is now out of what we call prison for profit.
Yes, it is definitely a prison for profit.
On Friday, right?
Yeah.
On Friday?
Yeah.
And I'm certain that we had something to do with that.
Yeah, I think so. I think we had a lot to do with
Kind
that.
of nobody even knew he was there, and we couldn't get any information from the courts, so I think that we had an awful lot to do with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fact that
when
he
we
was
made
blind had a lot to do with it too, I think.
when we made people aware he was there, and then went and talked to his old roommate and took him the information, that probably helped tremendously.
I'm sure it did.
Because that's the whole reason he was taken in. He was trying to report the crime of his phone getting hacked. And the officer thought he was crazy that his phone was getting hacked. But hey, in this day and age, you know what happens.
Right, it does
So-
happen, and he was right.
So the officer decided to take him in on a mental hold instead of actually taking a police report for the crime. So we made people aware of this, and we made the hospital. 10:30. And especially the hospital. They kept threatening him with putting him on a 90-day hold, but we found out that he was already on a 90-day hold from like the 11th. And when we told Gary about that, it's like, it's an empty threat that they're giving you because they already have you on a 90-day hold. You know, they were using it to say, behave or we're going to put you on a 90-day hold to him, to try to control him. So once he learned that there was already a 90-day hold, they had no more control over him on that part of it. So they deprived him of his rights. They did not provide him with the application for the 90-day hold. They did not provide him with the application for the 72-hour hold, which is both of them are required by law for them to hand to him to have him have in his possession. I can understand if they gave him the paper and then put it into his file after, because when they put him in the hospital, you don't have a whole lot of privacy in there, so they didn't want his papers floating around in the hospital, because they don't have locked doors, so patients can wander around. And you know, you never know who's going to get into your paperwork. You know, besides the hospital, they were searching his room daily, by the way. So they give you a little writing pen to use while you're in there. That's non-dangerous. It's about that long, and it's real bendable. It's a real bendable pen, and it's really small and thin. And they give that to you to write with. Well, he had managed to get a hold of a larger pen because he needs a larger pen to hold into. And he had it stashed in his room, and they found it, of course. But they were going through his paperwork. I took him a writ of habeas corpus to fill out. I was going to take it down to the court after he filled it out for him. So that would have taken him in front of a judge, and they would have to prove why they had a hold on him and how. So when he started filling it out, they copied his papers, and when they did the copies, they mistakenly replaced a copy with the original, and he knew that they were in his papers.
Goes on the bus.
Yeah.
We love you, Dad!
So he ended up with a copy of the original in his paperwork. So I'm going to be going over there to Gary's probably later today and start some interviews with him to be posting up onto the channel. So he's going to tell some stories on it too. I'm going to have him tell the stories of when he was in there about other people, without giving their names, of course, how they ended up there on holds as well. And some of them are some really, really scary stories. So, and we found it's just a huge black hole where people can disappear into these places and nobody can get any information on them. I mean, you would think that an official action by the police with a police report that would be a public record for anything. I mean, because, you know, they have no control over that. They're not medical personnel.
I know that's what they do on WWE. He's into some weird shit.
Yeah. When we showed up and I know for a fact that he hasn't gotten it. After we said that, all of a sudden it magically appeared into his hands for him to read. They did not let him keep it, which is understandable in that sense that, you know, it isn't floating around in the place. But he probably didn't understand it either. He probably didn't understand any of it for, you know, why he was being shown that paperwork. So without me telling him why they showed it to him, you know, he just didn't understand why they were showing him that paperwork at that time. And they still didn't let him keep it. So I'm going to guess that when he got out that he didn't have a copy of it. That they did not give it to him. I'll find out though. I will definitely find out if they gave him a copy of it. So if anybody's looked up the Yelp reviews on that place of Centennial Peaks, there is a ton of horror stories on it, literally. And one guy, he keeps reposting because he says that they keep deleting his post on it. So Centennial Peaks doesn't want the truth to be known about them just grabbing people pretty much and putting them away for a while, drugging them up. So that's a situation. You get your TV system hacked, and you try to document it with the police, and all of a sudden you're in a mental hospital because they think you're crazy. So they definitely aren't, you know, computer techs and whatnot, but you would think that they would have sent somebody out to check out what he's saying, if it's true or not. They didn't. Instead, they put him in handcuffs and took him in on a mental hold. So you can't even report a crime no matter how crazy it sounds. And we know it's the truth too. I've seen some of the stuff that happened. And
Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here and doing what you do, man. I appreciate your activism. And I appreciate your dedication.
Well,
to
the police keep pushing at people. There's going to be more activists.
That's right.
People aren't going to put up with it.
They don't understand that. They think that, for example, like they can take Eric out and they've solved the problem, right?
Yeah.
They don't understand that when they take one of us out, two more come in their place, right?
Yeah, they see how wrong it is.
Right.
And it's like, you know, if somebody doesn't stand up, then it's for nothing, and it's a police state, and everybody goes to jail, and the only people that are happy is the people in the government.
And the thing that's going to save you the most, the one thing I always require the most is record.
Yes.
If you're ever standing in front of a government official, take out your camera, your phone, and record.
Yep.
You want to make sure that you have everything on video for evidence and proof, because they are liars.
They are.
Lie, and
They will lie.
Up stories to put you away. So
Everybody knows that's in this channel that they lie because they watch the videos. They watch the videos, and then some of us follow through with the police reports and read the police reports on the thing and say, none of that happened. You people saw the video, none of it happened. So they lie very well, and they think nobody's watching. We're watching now.
they even lie knowing that they're being video recorded.
Yeah.
Knowing that somebody caught the truth on the video, they still try to lie.
Yeah, and they get away with it a lot of the time.
Yeah, and that just goes to show what happens to those who don't record. Right?
Yeah.
Just imagine all of those people that get charged with things, and it's only their word against 8 police officers.
Yes. I can't count how many times my own rights were violated. When I
Fuck yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of interviews with Gary about his story going into the mental hospital, into the Centennial Peaks. So, and I know that between Eric and I and all the subscribers that calling in, that had a lot to do with him getting released when he did.
I agree. The power of you guys is amazing. What it does is beyond words, right?
Yeah.
More than any paperwork could handle or any certain person could do. All of you anonymous people together.
Yeah.
More power than anything we can conjure up.
Yeah. When they realize people are actually watching and paying attention, they start acting more correctly.
That's right.
But not always. I mean, we saw how they reacted to us.
Well, I mean,
They asked us.
Westminster, right? You know, like there's certain, entities that want to double down, triple down, quadruple down, right? And and
when we were there at the hospital, and they realized we were live streaming, and I was trying to get information on them, and I told them, well, we'll remove all the electronics from the room and it'll just me and you. And they still wouldn't do it. They said, no, you're going to release this information. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to release his personal, private information of that stuff onto the internet. I was making people aware that he was there.
No.
I don't know how to blow like Hot Topic. I'm gonna try.
They didn't believe that though. They wouldn't tell me anything. And then they asked us to leave the building. So that's when we protested outside. And then after that, the police came and asked us to leave there. So even without talking to the people inside, they were telling us that we're being trespassed. So that was interesting because the people inside didn't tell us to leave the property. So I don't think that was even a legitimate trespass warning. All right. Looks like they've been fed today. Everybody's happy. Eric's gonna get out a sign here shortly. I know he is. Eric is Eric, so he will be flying his sign and marching up down, probably going down there to see a few police officers and to talk to people, of course. So the police did not come here to harass people today, fortunately. So it was a good day so far. It was interesting though that a couple police officers walked out of the corner bakery when I got here, and I wasn't filming yet. They walked out of the corner bakery and headed straight over to Earl's to go to there. And Earl's wasn't open yet. The door was still locked, so they couldn't get in. So they walked down the street. Oh, here's the two officers right here. Hey, Eric. Eric. So these are the two officers that were here this morning that were in the corner bakery and then tried to go to Earl's. And here they're coming back now.
Janet.
Here comes the police.
He's going to need to sign.
I don't want the flag to touch the ground.
No,
The flag
it's his
touch the
flag.
ground.
It's
All those
fine.
people sleep on the ground. There's
He's
no
gonna
disrespect there.
need that. See, now they're going back into Earl's. So they're plotting to do something, obviously, that they want to speak to Earl's, and they've already spoke to the corner bakery. So it'll be interesting to find out what they.
Here we go.
Where's Anna?
All right, I'm gonna go over here.
Are they open?
Yes.
Doors unlocked?
Yes. So we're gonna go in here while the police officers are here, and he's gonna serve him a letter. This should be interesting. So he's representing Occupy Denver at this point. This is not in protest. So we know the management is actually with the police officers right now.
Big way for your betters.
So they're going to serve another letter because the last time they served a letter, they replied with they requested for 30 days. And here comes the management guy and the officers. And he's turning on his body cam right now. I heard that click all the way from here for his body cam.
What we're giving you is a letter that your neighbor, the Hard Rock Cafe, wrote last week. And then we would like to engender a dialogue with you guys. You've asked for a 30-day extension. And while we can't afford a 30-day extension, we would like to engender a dialogue with you this week. And we've provided some resources on there to help you guys make your decision.
I'm obviously not the person to have that dialogue.
And your name is?
It's Mike.
Oh, you are Mike?
I'm Mike Mitchell, yeah. I'm trying to make sure you're the owner of Oral. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. I can get with that office to get in touch, the same email.
Yes.
Mike Mitchell.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys have a wonderful day.
Okay.
You guys, nobody's in handcuffs yet. Let's get out of the building. Good morning. Thank you, sir.
All right, that went pretty well.
Appreciate all your work.
The officer felt his presence was necessary and turned on his body camera as he was coming down the stairs. You could hear it click.
Can you tell me what the guy said?
The guy said, fuck them all. Let God sort them out. No, he didn't say. He said that he would take the letter and forward it to his His name is Mike Mitchell. That was Mike Mitchell. And he is the general manager here at Earl's Kitchen and Bar. Earl's Kitchen Plus Bar here at, I think I held up my camera for everybody to see.
Did you notice when the officer approached, he put his hand on his gun?
No, I did not notice that.
I don't know whether it was
The first thing he did was turned on his body camera.
Yeah.
And I said, we're not a violent
We also said, hey, Eric. Just
He did say, hey, Eric. Yeah, I did hear him say, hey, Eric. So,
He said, hey, Eric.
thank you for holding that for me. That is Pikes Peak Auditors there. I know. So, you guys, we did deliver our letter. That was great. I'm pretty sure that they were watching our live stream.
It was like 25 of us in it. You could even call for donations at your home.
Pretty much all of these people went in there with us, right?
Look at all the activists we have today. There's quite a few of us. Many of us are recording, some aren't, but that's okay. They're here to make their presence known.
Hey, you know what? Can you take an opportunity to tell us a little bit about what you do? You're an activist in your community, so why don't you introduce yourself to my viewers and tell us what you do?
Yeah, I don't want to be on the camera too much. I'm here for support, but
Yeah.
I'm Michael Diaz-Rivera, Black Lives Matter 5280. But I'm here for the people from the struggle,
Right.
all of our people, and how we can fight for our liberation.
And tell us a little bit about the organization you're working with regarding counselors, not cops.
Yes, so
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter 5280 and our education squad have recently partnered up with Padres and Dasher for an initiative to divest in cops in our schools and invest in counselors. We are noticing what's happening in our schools. Why are kids being swept into the school to prison pipeline when they really should get the wraparound services that they need to grow academically and socially? And it's not happening. Exactly. They're not valuing our social workers, our counselors, our therapists, etc.
Let alone our teachers.
Or our teachers.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for hosting. You're one of the co-hosts of that event a few weeks ago, right?
Yes.
It was very informative. I was really and I was very shocked at how the cops are focused in areas where they're not having school shootings. Happening in the areas where they're putting the cops, right? And so it's completely useless, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And in fact, there was a young man there that was a student at Westminster High School, and I don't remember his name. I hope that he contacts me, but he remembered who I was, and he never seen me there. That's so my legend, I guess, was getting arrested there keeps going forward. But he had been suspended.
For you always being able to be saying "fuck the police" and I'm gonna make that known.
But that's a white privilege, though.
It is a white privilege. You're correct, right? Yeah, that's what I tell people. I have white male privilege, and I talk about it because it's inappropriate. I have copies. I gave one copy to Karen on the bus, and I have another copy in there as well. Oh. Yeah, she does. I'll get her one in a moment. But I want to thank you again for that work. That was very informative. That young man, by the way, he was issued a 3-day suspension by Antonio Guzman Jr., which is Baby Goose, the killer Goose, for being disrespectful to him. He's now the school resource officer at Westminster High School. So
talk about it. Let's look into the backgrounds of these resource officers.
Oh my! Yeah, I think that evidence is showing that they're pretty problematic, right?
Yeah, they're part of the poverty pimp.
Yeah, they are. Well, thanks again, Michael.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
We're gonna bring the power and
All right. And of course, there was somebody on a bullhorn earlier too. At the same time, I was wanting to film him, but he already walked off. As you know, this is definitely a free speech zone, so everybody speaks their opinion here.
I've never met a journalist.
And of course, some of them threaten you with violence. Oh, here he is, right here.
Certainly not. This woman has sat through. How many hours of my trials have you sat through?
Well, take care.
We love you, Irene.
Irene, this week.
I missed your announcement because I was filming over there.
Again.
Okay, sounds good to me. Oh, it's got to be on.
While Denver criminalizes homelessness, boycott the 16th Street Mall. Denver, waging war against the homeless is not the best way to deal with homelessness. Pass question 300. Vote yes on question 300 and force our city government to take a constructive approach in dealing with the homeless instead of setting police on them.
Ban the ban! Right to rest!
Vote yes on 300.
Very good.
I'm not really in the mood. I'm distracted. There's so many things.
You're in terror because you don't know when they're going to come arrest you for threatening that
There
judge.
are a million things on my mind.
All you said was to wipe that smile off his smirk off his face or something like that is what I heard. And he's like, did I just get threatened?
I also said that I believe I called him an enemy of the people.
Was that yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In the jail.
Oh, I missed
And this is
that.
after Eric had sent me
Yeah.
to the sentencing hearing for Larry, what's his name, whom I don't know. He did
Larry
see
Goodman.
me. Goodman.
Got 30 years.
He got 30 years.
For paper terrorism.
There was mention of a meeting at which a confidential informant was placed, and there was some mention at this meeting of the possibility of arresting Judge Carr, but there was
Judge
reference
Carr or
to the
Judge
lead.
Harrell?
I believe it was Carr, but I don't. I would like to know enough of the details to know if, in fact, your assertion that you just made that it was mere paper terrorism. Yeah, that seems to be the case, and that's very alarming because you know.
It's very alarming that we killed 200 homeless people last year in the streets.
Well,
that's more alarming to me than just some dumb judge with a grudge, right?
It was 300. Wasn't it?
I don't
It wasn't 300. 288.
288. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was 140 when Occupy interrupted the mayor reading the list of the names of the homeless dead. The Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, that was in 2007, I think, that the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless routinely lets the mayor officiate at a supposed vigil to honor the homeless dead. And I think they still do this every year, but they've stopped having the mayor read the list of the names of the dead because Mayor Hancock got up there this is, after they had passed or were...
They didn't want to hear the names of the dead.
Yeah.
Well, Occupy didn't.
I didn't want to hear the names of the dead.
Why not?
No, we were
I'm
reading
pretty
them.
sure.
Surely.
Mayor re-engaged here. The Colorado, I believe Occupy's belief was, and I believe it was correct, was that the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless is to some extent in bed with the city's policies because of the flow of money and such. And as part of a political payoff to the mayor, they gave him the honor of reading the list of the names of the dead. And so Corey Donahue, we interrupted that. I was present and helped, but Corey Donahue got right up in the mayor's face. And he's a big guy.
Corey Donahue is.
Yes,
Yeah, the mayor's not such a big guy.
Right, exactly.
You're talking about the same mayor that actually walked towards Karen Sidaro right before they shoved her.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that
Yes,
man who was
that
actually
one.
going to talk to Karen.
Yes.
This is at the beginning of his tenure. He had I believe he'd gotten the camping ban passed, and we were about 140 people had died in the streets the previous year.
Yeah.
So in the course of reading the list of the names of the dead, we stopped that, and to the best of my
so
knowledge,
that
it
was
has
early
not
on.
happened again.
Okay, that's why
But since then, the number of homeless dead has risen.
Well, the number of homeless
more
has
than doubled.
substantially risen as well. So
I'm surprised to hear you say that because that detracts from his responsibility to the extent that the
I'll concede to that statement.
Okay, well, I mean,
I don't want to detract from it, but
Well, I'm saying, so
what
you're
I'm
right.
exacerbating
Of
is
course
this
you're right.
disaster
Of course you're right.
of homelessness in Colorado. It is a disaster.
Absolutely.
It's a disaster that hasn't seen proportions since the collapse of the economy in the 1930s.
And we agree that the city's policies, and specifically the urban
Certainly
camping ban,
agree.
are exacerbated.
Absolutely, and you guys can read about this in the reports that we given to Earl's Kitchen Bar this morning to go study. They wanted to study, and that would be in the DU Law Group's. What the name is that study? Why is this name escaping me?
I'm sorry.
The cost of homelessness. Too high a price. Thank you.
I think I've heard of it, but I have not looked it up.
Oh, you
already.
should. It's really
Well, I do a
intriguing.
lot of skimming.
You do a lot of skimming?
Well, and I do a lot of, I had to go look up the name of the
skim milk is
Homeless
not whole milk.
Leadership Council. What is the Homeless Leadership Council? Well, it's the overall organization that wrote the letter saying they didn't support Question 300.
Well, I don't think
also
that came out of DU Law.
And it's endlessly complicated because things show up on the municipal ballot and the general ballot. Are they questions or are they initiatives? Some things are actually styled questions. So I believe it is true that for the past 3 elections, initiatives, whether they were called questions or not, numbered 300, have been on each of the last few ballots, and they have all passed. Last year it was college affordability. The year before that it was oh my God. There was, well, in 2016 it was the social use pilot program, the feeble attempt to
Well,
allow
let's
public
not
consumption of
confuse the
cannabis.
viewers with the minutia of
Okay,
other,
that's true.
other
This is-
issues.
this is
If
detailed,
they
but
go
anyway.
read the studies, which we provided in link, and they'll be on. Janet's
That's
going to
not a
post
bad
that.
idea.
Where did she go? Probably loading the truck, right?
Yeah, I think so.
She's going to be posting that on Occupy Space later. I would encourage people to go read Too High a Price. The two reports there. They're about 60 pages each, and they're very
I take it
informative.
as a given. I take the conclusions pretty much as a given.
Well, I don't like to take the conclusions as givens. I like to actually
One
read
wants
it.
to be careful.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
You're
thank you for
expecting
coming
your
down here
viewers to
today.
read an academic study, which seems perhaps
Of
that
course,
might
I'm
be
expecting my
challenging.
viewer.
but
Vote one if you're. No, they won't. I guess they're blocking ones. Vote 69 if you're capable of reading an academic study.
I think they can vote in 11.
I don't want to. I don't
Oh,
want to.
can they vote in 11? Just not a
Yeah,
one,
just
huh?
not a
I don't
one.
want to
Funny.
impeach the intellectual wherewithal of your viewers.
Well, let's see. Aaron
Or
Sanchez.
anything
Oh,
kind.
thanks for posting Aaron Sanchez. Yeah, Aaron Sanchez threatened us. I can't remember this guy's name, and maybe he would be willing to give us a card. Should we go ask him before we shut down if he would give us a card?
Which guy?
The sergeant over here.
Oh, the one that looks like
Was
he's
there-
stoned,
did
sitting
the-
there in his car.
Did the police come through this morning and warn Janet or otherwise?
No, as a matter of fact, the rumor has it that this guy said that he would personally be out to protect Janet today.
This is the opposite of what he expected.
Yeah. Well, we're glad.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's a relief. I'll see you.
Hey, thanks for coming the other day, man. I appreciate it. You're welcome.
So I'm gonna follow Eric down. We all know how they are with Eric when he's alone. So I'm watching his back. All right, how many people want to bet that Eric knocks on his window? He doesn't even roll down the window to talk to him. Maybe he's already got the window down, so he can't ignore him. Surprised he didn't just roll up the window though. Oh, he's gonna get a card.
So that's exactly how a police encounter should go.
Yeah.
That's exactly correct. So this is Sean Saunders.
Oh, a sergeant.
He's a new sergeant. Yeah, fairly new sergeant. And
Yeah. I can't get
Here you
in
go.
that card.
here's a picture of us taking a picture of us taking a picture of us taking a picture.
I hope. Okay.
All right.
So I was trying to make a bet that he would ignore you with his window up, but his window was already down, so I already
No, it
lost
was up.
that.
And he rolled it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's surprising that he rolled it down for you. Because earlier he kept it up and
But actually, earlier it
sat
was
there.
down, and then when I started approaching, he rolled it up. All right.
He was sitting there like he was stoned earlier, just looking straight forward, ignoring Liberty.
Well, the rumor on the street was that he said that he was going to be here today to protect Janet and let her feed. So,
Okay.
I think that they finally realized that this was not good for anybody, the way that they were behaving.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I think they realized that they couldn't issue tickets after looking it up because of their confusion last
Well, I
week.
tried to make it very clear to them
Yeah.
in my videos
and then Brian came in to follow that act up as well with some better material.
Yes.
And
Yes, Brian Loma, Cut the Plastic. He can look up some stuff, and he's got contacts. And with his group, they contacted them and had some words to say to them, and they actually listened. And that's why that officer is here, is because of Brian and his group. To watch out for these people instead of trying to criminalize them and give them tickets. So Brian's a good man.
He's a good man. So I'm gonna do a couple shout outs here. I know that there's a lot of people.
All right. I know they're packing up right now. I'm gonna stop my live stream for a little bit. I only have so much bandwidth left. So I'm gonna start it up again when Eric gets out the sign and marches up and down. So I can watch his back then. But if anything happens, I'll go back live immediately. So I'll be back later. Thank you for joining. And we'll catch you a little bit later.